We all like to think we're animal experts, but it turns out we might be a bit off the mark. Why? Well, sometimes we're way too confident without checking the facts, and other times we're guilty of projecting our own habits onto our furry friends. Plus, let's not forget the outdated info we inherited from movies or our well-meaning parents and teachers. So buckle up for a wild ride as we unravel the mysteries of animal behavior and set the record straight. Skunk spray. Many meat-eating mammals, not just skunks, have anal glands that produce a strong, oily substance. These glands serve different purposes in various animals. For instance, wolverines use them to mark territory, and minks use them as a repellent. Skunks, however, are unique in using their anal glands as a defense mechanism. Unlike other mammals with similar abilities, a skunk's anal glands have evolved to spray. Skunks can control the direction of the spray, and they can adjust the spray's thickness by changing the size of their openings. If a skunk knows its specific threat, it might shoot a stream directly at the enemy's face. If unsure about the threat, it releases a fine mist, forcing the attacker to run through a cloud of the strong liquid. Skunk spray is so powerful it can make animals vomit and temporarily blind them. However, many people think that skunks always spray larger animals, causing panic when encountered. However, skunks actually spray as little as possible because the liquid they release is limited and takes time to replenish. Some skunks can spray up to 6 times before needing a 2-week break to recharge their glands. During this time, they are more vulnerable to predators, so they prefer using other methods to escape before resorting to spraying. Interestingly, skunks give a warning before spraying by performing a specific dance, which includes stomping and handstands, depending on the skunk species. This dance is not just a warning, but an attempt to scare away potential threats, and it can be effective on knowledgeable humans. Scared ostriches. Ostriches are fascinating birds, the world's largest and heaviest. Despite their size, they can't fly, but they can run incredibly fast. Over 30 miles per hour for a steady speed and bursts of up to 43 miles per hour. They're native to Africa, living in savannas and deserts, and were once called camel birds due to their long necks, large eyes, and unique walk. We often hear the saying, "Don't stick your head in the sand." This phrase is usually linked to avoiding problems, and appears to come from observations of ostriches that appear to bury their heads to avoid predators. Some mistakenly thought this behavior showed ostriches thinking they could become invisible to predators by hiding their heads. However, experts confirm this as a myth. If an ostrich buried its head, it would actually suffocate. The confusion likely arises from other ostrich behaviors, such as when they lean into the ground to turn their eggs or eat plants along the ground. Seen from far away, it could look like they bury their heads in the sand, which experts state is how the myth started. Suicidal lemmings. Lemmings are small animals with interesting stories attached to them. In the 17th century, naturalists were puzzled by the sudden appearance of Norway lemmings in large numbers, and later disappearance, leading to various myths. One persistent myth claims that lemmings occasionally commit mass suicide by jumping off cliffs because there are too many. However, this myth is not true. Lemmings do experience population booms every few years, and when their numbers get too high, some may drown while crossing rivers or lakes in search of new homes. It's not suicide, but a consequence of their migration. Why does this suicide myth persist? Firstly, it's a metaphor for blindly following a crowd, often used to describe human behavior, which is also called the lemming effect. Secondly, deliberate fraud played a role. In a 1958 Disney film, filmmakers staged a lemming death scene by pushing them off a cliff for dramatic footage. This misleading portrayal shaped public perception and convinced many that lemmings have a bizarre instinct for self-destruction. Alpha wolves. The concept of being an alpha wolf has long been associated with the idea of a dominant leader within a wolf pack. In popular culture, it's often portrayed as the strongest, most assertive wolf that leads the group. However, new research in wolf behavior has challenged this traditional view. Recent studies suggest that the term alpha wolf can be misleading when applied to wild wolf packs. Unlike what was previously believed, wolves in a pack are often family members, with the so-called alpha being more accurately described as the breeding pair or parents of the pack. This implies that the role of a dominant leader based on physical strength and aggression is not as prominent as once thought. Wolves, like many social animals, have a complex social structure that involves cooperation, communication, and family dynamics. The leader of a wolf pack is more likely to be a parent, not because they are the toughest, but because they are responsible for guiding and caring for the pack's offspring. That's it for today. Hope you learned something new, and don't forget to subscribe for future videos.